Hi everybody, Tony with Hobby Hangover here. This video is a little bit different. It's a thank you video to the subscribers and the viewers out on YouTube that have welcomed me and watched the channel and watched my videos. It actually is in honor of my first 1,000 views on the channel with Hobby Hangover. And I launched the channel January 27th, I believe. And by March 19th, I had my first 1,000 views. So I figured that would be a good time to thank you and do a video, giving a little bit back, not necessarily physically or anything like a contest, but some of the knowledge that I've learned in the past couple years, because I've actually grown quite a bit with the collection and the methodology and how we actually get the best results when we seek autographs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on baseball. Baseball season's right around the corner. It's my main focus as far as collecting goes. And April, I forgot the start of the season, but it's the first week of April, so it's not that far away. I've been going to a lot of spring training games, and I wanted to kind of share with everyone some of the things that I've seen and maybe some of the ways to kind of go around it for people who didn't know. I know when I was a kid I did a lot of things wrong. My collection, from that time is basically non-existent. It's either non-existent or it shows that I didn't really know too much about the hobby at the time. So first, getting, let's say, a baseball signed. All right. So what you want to do to get the best possible ball would be the Rawlings Official Major League Baseball. Now this is one of the new ones. This is a 2015 ball. So it's got the new commissioner, Robert D. Manfred Jr. signature on it. The other ones have Selig signature on there. But it says, you can see, Official Major League Baseball. The company is Rawlings. So when you're doing searches, things like that on the internet, you can look up Rawlings Official Major League Baseball, ROMLB, things like that, and you'll come up with the right thing. And if you shop around, you can get a good price. The lowest that I've been able to find them for the past couple years has been, the prices seem to keep going up, but the lowest that I've seemed to find them for was about $15 a ball. So again, that's the Rawlings Official Major League Baseball, and they come in boxes of a dozen. You can find them online. I don't want to really give anybody any plugs right now to cross the line of sponsorships or product placement, things like that. I don't want to violate any terms or get YouTube upset. It comes in a box like this. So that's the new 2015 one. And I see a lot of people getting like the official league ball, which is like a little league ball. And if it's fine if it's just for you. If it's just for you, you don't care what you get signed. It doesn't matter. You go to Sports Authority, get the smallest or most expensive thing, inexpensive, and get that signed. Fine. But if it's something that you want to value, it's something that you want to display, something that you want to leave for your kids one day, something that, if you end up getting a Mike Trout before he becomes Mike Trout, you probably want it to be on the best thing. So you want to get the Rawlings Official Major League Baseball. Now, as far as getting a baseball signed, I'm seeing a lot of people still getting leather baseballs signed with Sharpies. Now, you really don't want to do that because the leather is going to absorb the marker ink and it's going to spread. So the signature is going to not look the way the player signed it. It's going to just look faded. It's going to be turning gray. It's going to spread out. It's going to look splotchy, like a big splotch. So the best thing is blue ink on a leather baseball. The Bic Ultra Round Stick is what's done me very well the past, I'd say, 4 or 5 years since I even started caring about the pen. I knew for a long time that ink and blue ink was best for baseball, but I didn't think that it really mattered where the pen came from or whatever. But it does when my wife, who helps me out with supplies, things like that, really everything, when she tried to buy these back, she couldn't. She bought another one that was also big, but it wasn't the same. And then she tried to find another one that was closer to this model, and it's close, but it's still not the same. So you might want to test these things out. Also, when you're giving the pen and the ball to the player to sign, you want to make sure that you've tested the pen. So one of the fastest things you can do is just scribble on top of the cardboard. Make sure that the pen is writing. There was a player one time who I gave the pen to, and after he wrote the first 2 letters of his name, the pen died. I mean, you just can't make that up. So that was a wasted ball right there. Pen was obviously thrown away. I had to borrow somebody's pen on the spot. They only had a black pen, so I had to get a new ball with a black pen just to make do, because I wanted the guy's autograph. So that's another thing that is important to keep in mind. Then what you want to do is, let's say you get your ball signed, you're happy, you got your Rawlings official Major League Baseball, it's signed in a blue Bic pen, and it looks great. Now you want to display it. How are you going to do that? So what you want to do is you want to get one of these display cubes here. It's acrylic and UV protected, so the sun's rays aren't going to damage the ink. This is a Keith Hernandez autograph I got maybe 4 years ago, and it still looks like the day I brought it home. Now there's 2 things. There's the acrylic case, which keeps out the UV rays, but also one thing that I learned the hard way as well was humidity. If you live in a hot area, I live in Florida. You live in a hot area and you're going away on vacation or whatever, you don't want to pay a high electricity bill when you're not there. You pump the air up a little bit, and things like that actually cause the ink to fade as well. Not just the sun's UV rays, but also heat and humidity. So what I started doing is keeping my house normally 79 if we're going to be coming home, that day or through the weekend. But if you're going to be gone longer than I'd say a weekend, don't put the air up past 80 in your house. If you start putting it up at 82, which is the highest that I've ever put it, you're going to notice after a while some of the balls are going to fade. So one of the companies who I think has a affordable line of these acrylic cases is Ultra Pro. They also make the pocket sleeves for the cards. Now that brings us to the next topic. What if you want to get a card signed? Great. That's one of my favorite things to get signed because I collect the cards. I get the double signed, and they're easy to store. You get the binder, the 9 pocket sleeves, bam. You can fill those up, and I think I go through one binder maybe every 2 or more years, filling it up with autographs in person and through the mail. So if you think about it, one binder every 2 years, I mean, that's pretty good. And then you can just stack them wherever you put them on top of each other. They don't, really take much damage, and it's great. So if you're getting a card signed, obviously you want to get a Sharpie to do so. And when you're deciding on which Sharpies to get, I would say the colors are important. Depending on the card, if it's a light card, you definitely want to go with blue Sharpie. If it's as a secondary one, I would go with black. The blue just pops more on the cards. The blue is definitely better for presentation. Black will do, but it doesn't look as nice and as colorful and doesn't pop the way a blue Sharpie does on a card. Also, the black Sharpie, it's just a little more basic, and since a lot of cards have darker colors or things like that, it might look like it's printed on the card. When the cards manufacturers make cards that have pre-printed signatures, it looks like black Sharpie. So to differentiate that, they really don't do that with blue coloring on pre-printed. So it really makes it look more authentic, more real, makes it pop. So blue and black Sharpie, and then as a reserve, if it's a dark card or a magazine cover that's dark background, things like that, or photos, I would go with gray. So here's the gray Sharpie. And nothing really too special about that. It says silver metallic gray Sharpie. So at colors like red, blue, dark colors, you want to use the gray Sharpie. Here's the black, and here's the blue. Now you might want to pay attention here to the fact that these are clicking Sharpies. They're clickable. Now, when you have a Sharpie, you want to make sure that the tip is still pointy. A lot of people, give the players a Sharpie that is dulled out, it's fuzzy, things like that. Now these, they still triangulate at the tip. That's important. The reason why I love these clickable ones is because they retract inside. You can't really see through this, but they retract inside to a plastic area that keeps it from drying out. So it makes it truly a one-handed operation here. So you can hold your object, which is a baseball that you never want to get shine with a Sharpie, so let's not really do that. But you can hold your, paper to get signed and Sharpie at the same time. Have it already clicked, give it right to the player, boom, you're done. Gives it back, you click it, it doesn't dry out. I do hockey, the hockey practice facility where I get my autograph signed or I get my card signed. It's cold in there. So if you had to have a traditional Sharpie where you uncap it and keep it like that ready for the players to sign, that's going to dry out. When the player comes to sign it, it's going to be a lackluster autograph. So there you have it. I highly recommend the clickable, retractable Sharpies. Blue is the best. Black is secondary. Gray, they don't make the clicky ones that I've found yet. When they do, I'll definitely be buying that. But gray is your one for odd colors. You want to get Rawlings official Major League Baseball signed. If you want to get balls signed by baseball players, you want to get it in the acrylic case, the cheaper ones, just make sure they say UV so that it at least protects from the sun's rays if it's going to be anywhere near sunlight. All right. Sorry for that. As I was saying, it's a $4 piece of plastic that's going to protect it. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to protect a nuclear blast. But, somewhat indirect. Okay, those were just some quick tips. Thanks again, everybody. Good luck out there with the autographs. Thanks for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe. Continue watching the videos, liking them. Thanks for the 1,000 views in about 6-7 weeks. I appreciate it. And there's a nice little community out here. I feel like it's accepting me. And thanks for watching Hobby Hangover. Thanks to my wife who helps me out. Hopefully you found this informative. And keep watching and I'll keep doing it. Thanks.